Thank you very much, Dennis. It's my privilege to be here. My name is Mark Mix, and I'm the president of the National Right to Work Committee and National Right to Work Legal Defense Foundation. Instead of talking to you about the dangers of this bill, I want to show you how it works. So I'd ask everybody on this side of the room to cover your ears, please. Everyone cover your ears. Just for a minute, I'll signal to you when you can take your hands off your head. Everyone over here now, listen closely. Would you like me to convince David Keene to give you money for being here? Raise your hand if you'd like that. Would you like me to convince David Keene to give you health insurance to be here? Raise your hand if you'd like that too. Okay. Now, let's all just raise our hand together one time. Everybody from this side over, everybody raise your hand. It's important that everybody raise their hand, not you. Okay, right there, okay. Now, you guys can take your hands off your ears. And ma'am, would you raise your hand right there? Right here, you just raise your hand. That's it. You're all in a union. That's it. Welcome. Welcome to the Conservative Political Action Conference Union. I will take the responsibility of being your union boss, and I will take responsibility for negotiating with David Keene about the terms and conditions that we spoke of. Now, for those of you who didn't hear what we were saying, I convinced these people that we could get a little money for being here. We might be able to get a little health insurance. But since 50% plus one voted for me as the union boss, welcome aboard. You're all on board as union members now. So congratulations, and we will be back in touch with you in a little while. As Dennis said, we'll be back in touch with you in 90 days, and we'll let you know exactly what the terms and conditions of your presence here is going to be. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the so-called Employee Free Choice Act. You employees over here, do you feel like you were free to choose? No. Thank you over here, by the way, for forcing those people into the union. I deeply appreciate it. And oh, by the way, one of our demands will be that everybody in the room, and I didn't tell you this, so you guys that voted for me, cover your ears for a minute. Cover your ears. We're going to force those guys to pay union dues too. It's a beautiful thing. Everybody here is going to pay me $38 a month to keep your job. That will be part of our negotiation. You can have a motorcycle. Well, I don't know. I can't guarantee that, sir. But what I just did and demonstrated for you is what the impact of this bill that Senator Corker just explained to you. How can it be called the Employee Free Choice Act? It's nothing of the sort. It is a compulsory unionism bill designed to force more workers into unions, to pay more forced dues, to elect more politicians who will empower union bosses one more time, and that vicious cycle will continue. There are other provisions in this bill that are extremely dangerous. Dennis mentioned the forced arbitration. Believe it or not, now that we're all unionized, we get 90 days to talk about our terms and conditions of employment, and then a federal mediator will fly in on a jet aircraft in here, and he'll come in and he'll say, Mark, what's the problem? And he'll have David there and ask David what the problem is, and I'll say, well, David just doesn't agree to my terms. And for the next 30 days, this federal mediator will cogitate over the terms that I'm demanding and the things that David can't give me, and then the federal government, will impose a contract on all of us that will be enforced for 2 years. With no changes. The terms and conditions of your employment, your pay, your health insurance, your compulsory dues will all be part of a federal mediator's decision as to how we're going to work. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the most dangerous pieces of labor legislation we've seen since 1965, when Lyndon Johnson tried to repeal all the right-to-work laws in the country. There are now 22 right-to-work states. Congressman Istuk comes from the most recent. With his help, Oklahoma passed a right-to-work law in 2001 that simply protects workers from being forced to pay dues to keep their job. This battle is nothing more than forcing workers to pay dues. I know Mike will talk a little bit about the other provisions. I'll sit down because I think it's important. We do have questions about it. But once again, let me welcome you into the CPAC union, and we'll have some representatives in the back of the room as you exit to collect the dues for today. And we're going to take it out of your paycheck from this point forward. Thank you very much.